Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you another Friday Faves and Fails. I'm going to kick off with a fail, and it's not necessarily a fail on the product's part, more so my expectations and how I like a product like this to work. So, number one, it's the Techni Thermo Modelling Spray, and it says it's got Force 4. Now, I, number one, expected this to be a heat protector, and it's not. I knew that before I used it, but I was like, okay. So I'm a little bit disappointed because it's not also a heat protector. It's thermo modelling in that it works with the heat in the same way as like a mousse would. It works with the heat to kind of hold your curl or your style. I thought, okay, well, I'm going to give it a go. I don't really like to use hairsprays and things because they really tangle my hair, but I do tend to like styling products that you put in wet hair because they don't have that same effect. By the time my hair is dry and I'm using it, I can still comb my hair through with my fingers. I used this, I let my hair dry naturally. I could comb through my hair, it wasn't a problem. I curled it, everything fine. Wouldn't necessarily say that my hair was, that it lasted any longer than it usually would, or that it was easier to curl or anything like that. But I would say that my hair was the most tangly it has been in a very long time. When I came to brush my hair, because again, my hair is tangly, but when I came to brush my hair at the end of the evening, it was painful. It took me a long time of like individual, really combing through it to get all of the tangles out. And although this might work for some people, and potentially that's a sign that it's doing something because it's holding everything together, this was an absolute nightmare for me. So more preference than the fact that it's a bad product, but if you've got very fine and tangly hair, I would avoid that. Don't know whether or not you would have picked it up to begin with, but I would. Something I have been enjoying, that was sent to me by the way, and so was this. This is the It's a 10 Miracle Leave-In product. I do like a detangler for all of the reasons I've just mentioned, and I've been using this for a few months, but I didn't really want to tell you, yes, I really like it, because I thought, is it just a basic detangler? It's quite expensive for what it is. I've tried loads of different detanglers over the years. Is this really kind of a head and shoulders above product? I will say that the main reason that I think I like this as much as I do is because it's also a heat protectant. So because especially recently I have started styling my hair more, which is not usually my MO, usually I just leave it to do what it wants to do. I'll throw it up on top of my head. Because I have been doing that more often, I'm finding more value in this. So I'll tell you what it says it does. I think some of these things are duplicates, but inhibits dry, damaged hair, adds shine, detangles, helps replace lost protein, seals and protects hair colour, helps prevent split ends, inhibits hair breakage. Don't you think we're seeing some duplicates? Creates silkiness, helps strengthen hair, flat iron spray, and thermal protector. I have found that my hair is easier to detangle and brush through after I've used this. It's kind of up there with the Wonder Water from L'Oreal. The Wonder Water still wins. The 8-second Wonder Water, or whatever it's called, that still wins, but this is a close second, and especially if you are coming out of the shower and you've forgotten to do that step, this is a nice one to have. But also it has got that heat protectant. So I think I've said this before, if you've got a leave-in conditioner that you use that is also a heat protectant, please let me know what it is because I want to try some more. Moving on to skincare, I'm all about smooth skin. I got this in my FabFitFun box a little while ago and I've been using it super sparingly because I googled how much it was and it is astronomical. If you can get a sample of this, or if you really want to push the boat out and treat yourself, it's amazing. It's the Elemis Papaya Enzyme Peel. And it says Enzyme Cream Exfoliator. So it comes out super thin, like a very fine, not fine, but like a very like almost liquidy moisturizer type product. You put a thin layer all over your face, wait for 10 minutes, wash it off. Smoothest skin you've ever experienced in your life without any kind of rough, abrasive, aggravating stuff on your skin. It's just a really gentle and yet very effective facial exfoliator. Wouldn't put this on my chest and elsewhere purely because so expensive. If it was less expensive, I would literally put it on every inch of my body. But it is very pricey. I think as a treat, I probably would purchase this maybe once a year if I was feeling like a bit bougie or like I really needed something. If you compare it to a facial, you could buy yourself this and give yourself a facial for several weeks in a row, or you could buy yourself an actual facial. But I think this is a really nice at-home kind of treatment. But that's how I would look at it because it's so pricey. What I do for the rest of myself, I do Skin and Me for my face now. And I used to bring down whatever products I was using on my face, I would bring it down my neck, my chest, and the backs of my hands for anti-aging purposes. And because I'm doing Skin and Me and that is a really specific dose of product, I can't spread that anywhere else. So I put that on my face and I've started doing other things elsewhere. So this is something I've pretty much always done. I use my glycolic acid, whatever it might be. This is the Pixi one. I put this in a spray bottle, just a cheap one from Boots, and I spray it. When I do my facial skincare, I'll spray it all over my arms. I'll try to get the tops of my kind of shoulders and my back and on my chest and my neck. I don't have any kind of adverse reaction from this. It's obviously an acid. It may not be for you if you've got very sensitive skin. I don't have sensitive skin and I haven't had any kind of reaction at all. But my skin feels so much smoother when I do this. I don't need to use any cotton pads or anything. I don't find that I'm having to scrub my skin in the bath or when I'm in the shower to get myself that smooth feeling. This seems to do the job as a liquid exfoliator. So I do that, but because I'm also missing my serums now, I've started using, this was sent to me, and it's one that I would usually use on my face, but because I'm doing my Skin and Me, I decided to use it on my chest and my neck. I bring this from here all the way here and kind of like in between as well, because I feel like it gets quite creepy there as you age, doesn't it? This is the L'Oreal Midnight Serum. I don't believe that this is a retinol. I've tried, I've Googled, I don't understand ingredients, but I can't see an overlap and I don't think that that's the same thing. It seems to be more of a hydrating, cell renewing type serum than a retinol, and it's not in the retinol family of the L'Oreal products. But whatever serum you might be using, I'm using this one at the moment and I'm enjoying it. I find that it definitely seems to be more hydrating than the retinol from L'Oreal, so I'm assuming it is a different thing. With the retinol of any kind, wherever I put it, I feel like if I didn't moisturize for a couple of nights, I would really tell. My skin would start to peel and it would be very, very obvious. Whereas if I used this for a couple of nights and didn't top it with a moisturizer, I'm not getting any kind of reaction whatsoever. So I think it has got something else in it that makes it, that when you wake up in the morning, everything seems kind of plumper and more hydrated, rather than just exfoliated. It's probably a better thing to pair with the glycolic acid as well. But it's important you remember that I don't know what I'm talking about. I've also seen recently that Beauty Pie have got like a youth spray. I've never subscribed to Beauty Pie, but that really made me consider it, because that's totally my whole jam. Is they've got this like youth, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a youth spray, and it's from the same range that they do stuff with facial skincare, and they've put it in the spray bottle and they're like, and then this is how you use it. And I'm thinking, that is what I do. They've basically just created a product that I am looking for. So if anyone's tried that, let me know, but I'm super tempted. Last thing I want to talk about is Rapid Brow. This is the Eyebrow Enhancing Serum. I bought this from Amazon. It is about £35, which feels expensive, but I pay a lot of money to have my eyebrows microbladed once or twice a year. And recently I felt like they are fading so quickly. So with this kind of advent of lamination and brows being kind of pushed up and you can really make the most of your natural brows, I'm going to go back to the Rapid Brow. I used this a few years ago and found that it was really, really effective. It's quite expensive, and when I stopped using it, it went away. But I had rubbish eyebrows. I used this for probably 1 or 2 months, and then I went to Benefit Brow Bar, had my brows tinted and shaped, and I was so happy with the results. It was the best eyebrows I've ever had until I had them microbladed. Now I'm getting a bit nervous of the microblading fading too quickly or blurring. I'm kind of a bit cautious about continuing to have it done as often I was having it done. So I'm trying to grow out my brows, and I'm going to have them maybe laminated or at least tinted, and I'm going to get some stuff to brush them up and try to make the most of what I've actually got in terms of like the actual hair. And in the 3 weeks that I've been using this already, I've absolutely seen growth. I didn't take pictures before and after because I decided it was going to be difficult for you to see the difference because of my microblading. If I've got some pictures of my eyebrows, which I potentially have, I will try and do a before and after. I maybe did a video the first time I used this years and years ago, and if I did, I'll try to remember to link that below. But it is really, really good. I've never tried the one for lashes, maybe I should. But the brow one, I felt like it was worth the money, because if it does work, and if I have to pay, let's say £35 every 2 or 3 months, it might be slightly more expensive than my microblading might be annually, but it's a more natural look, and it's something that is not quite as permanent, and it's not necessarily going to go wrong. I think I'm kind of inclined to continue down this path instead of microblading again for a while. It's just how I'm feeling right now. I've been totally obsessed with Netflix documentaries recently. A lot of it is like social justice, feminism, that kind of thing. 3 that I would absolutely recommend that aren't necessarily, two are related. One is 9 to 5, the story of the movement, which is kind of like the women's movement, the women in the workforce deciding that they wanted equal pay for equal work. It's fascinating, and I love seeing how things kind of moved through time and the women that were involved. It's just, would highly, highly recommend. Seeing Allred, that's her name, she's called Gloria Allred or Allred. She would specifically represent, she was a lawyer, she would specifically represent women who had been kind of sexually assaulted or in some way been the victims of inequality, that kind of thing. That documentary was amazing. I also watched, I haven't got it on this list, but I think it was called, it was like Overturning Roe or Reversing Roe. And this is about the history of abortion in America. There's definitely a theme to this. I was like clearly on a particular wave, and it all started with that seeing Allred. I was like, oh, I want to watch some more stuff about this. And then finally I watched The Bleeding Edge, which blew my mind because it's all about the different medical devices that are on the market now and whether or not they're actually doing anything for us, for the good or for the bad. And it made me consider that all of the pain that I've had, all of the chronic back pain, neck pain, all of the problems that I've had for so many years may have been attributed to the Marina coil, because I've had that on and off since the pain began. And there are certain, like, I would never ever have imagined that it could cause pain in my neck, or that it could cause tinnitus, which I've had weirdly coinciding with the time I had my most recent coil put in. Blows my mind that that's even something that could be connected. But I looked into it, and there are cases where this happens, and all the times I've spoken to doctors about these problems that I've had, no one's ever asked me what method of contraception I'm on, or has brought this up as potentially something that could be connected. It's maddening, but it really did just make me look at all of the things that we put in our bodies completely differently. Because I'm all for anything that the doctor suggests might help. Like, yeah, go for it. And watching this was really, really shocking. So I, again, would recommend all of these documentaries. I will try to remember to list them for you below, because I know sometimes I speak too quickly and people do not catch everything I say. But if you are in a documentary frame of mind, all 4 of those are fantastic. That is it for today. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. I will be back on Sunday with a Primark shop with me, because Emma and I last weekend were together and it was lots of fun, and we did several shop with me kind of videos, so you can see those over the next few weeks. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.